Hey guys, welcome to the seventh episode of the Book Nook. I'm your host Olivia, and for today's episode, I'm going to be talking about some of my unpopular opinions and hot takes about books. So this is going to be a really fun and exciting episode, so be sure to stick around. Alright, now let's get into it. So my first hot take is that sometimes you can judge a book by its cover. I know some people are going to disagree with me on this, and that's fine, but everyone's always saying like, oh, don't judge a book by its cover. You can't just like judge the content of a book based on what it looks like based on the cover. But like sometimes you can because sometimes bad books have bad covers and you can just tell right away from the cover that it's not going to be a good book. And then sometimes really good books have like the most amazing covers ever. So, yeah, like sometimes you should judge a book by its cover. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that is my first hot take. And then my second hot take is that not all books should be turned into movies. Um, yeah, I just don't really know why all these books are being turned into movies if they're not good books, because shouldn't you only like turn books into movies that are actually good books? Like, it's not adding up. It's not really making sense to me at all. In my opinion, I feel like only good books with powerful themes and meaningful plots and just well written books should be turned into movies because people are actually going to want to watch the movie if the book is good. But like if the source material is bad in the first place, like if the book is already bad and then you turn that into movie, then the movie's just going to end up bad too because like I don't know why they wanted to turn Colleen Hoover's book It Ends With Us into a movie. I don't know why they did that. I never saw it and I never will see it. But it looked pretty bad. I saw the trailer and the trailer looked bad. It just looked not the best. But that's because the source material, like the book was already bad in the first place, and then they had to go and make a whole movie about it, and then look at how it turned out. Like the movie turned out pretty bad. Um, and literally the actors are suing each other. Like, what is happening with that? Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni literally have all these lawsuits and legal drama and all of this crazy stuff happening with the actors, like, behind the scenes. So it's just like, why? Like, this is what happens. This is what happens when you turn a bad book into a movie. Like, no matter how good you want it to be, no matter how hard you try to turn a bad book into a good movie, the movie's just gonna end up pretty bad. Um, and yeah, like I really don't know what Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni are doing. Like I don't know what's happening with them. Um, I have no idea how the lawsuits actually ended up, but yeah, I don't really care that much either. But yeah, um, but I feel like that is just clear evidence as to why some books shouldn't be movies, and not all books deserve to be turned into like cinematic masterpieces, and that's fine. Like, that's okay. Sometimes you don't need to make a movie out of every single book. And also, I heard that they're making another Colleen Hoover movie. I heard it's called Regretting You, and I think it's coming out next month or in 2 months. I think it's coming out in November of this year. I was so surprised when I saw that. When I saw the trailer and everything, I was like, why are they making a second Colleen Hoover movie when the first one was already pretty bad? Like, why would they do that? Like, I've never read Regretting You. I don't even know what the plot's about, but I know it's starring, what's her name? The blonde girl from Young Sheldon. McKenna Grace, yeah. It's starring McKenna Grace and Mason Thames. And I mean, I heard they're dating in real life too, but like that's pretty cute. Like they're playing each other's love interests in the movie. So I feel like since they're both good actors, like I feel like that movie will turn out okay. But I mean, like, It Ends With Us, I'm sure that acting was good. Like, I'm sure Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively are good actors. But the plot is bad. Like, for It Ends With Us, the source material is bad. So, like, why would you do that, you know? Like, who read It Ends With Us and thought, oh, this should be turned into a movie. Like, whose smart idea was that? Because it just it doesn't make sense at all. Um, so yeah, I really don't understand why they would make another Colleen Hoover movie. Like, I don't get it, but oh well. Yeah, so honestly, that is just a perfect example of how not all books should be turned into movies. And yeah, my third hot take is that the New York Times best-selling books aren't really the best. Not all New York Times bestsellers are good books because the New York Times best-selling the award, it literally just means that you sold a lot of books. It's just based on however many books you sell. Like, you have to sell a certain amount of books to become a New York Times bestseller, but it really doesn't reflect the content of the book. It's not a good representation of the quality of the book, in my opinion. The New York Times best-selling award is just based on how many books you sell. So yeah, New York Times best-selling book does not automatically equal a good book because literally every single book is a New York Times bestseller. Almost every single book I've read is a New York Times bestseller. So they just hand that thing out to like anyone. They literally just like give it out like candy because like every single author has it. Every like popular, like well-known author is a New York Times bestseller. Every single popular book is a New York Times bestseller, and just like most books in general, like 95% of the books are New York Times bestselling books. So yeah. Okay, so my next hot take is that books should be under 400 pages. Like, every single book should be under 400 pages. There's no reason why the book needs to be over 400 pages, honestly. Um, because I feel like if you're a good writer and if you um progress the plot um in the right timing and if you have good pacing throughout the whole book, then you can definitely get it under 400 pages. It's not that hard. Just like develop the plot well. But literally the last few Harry Potter books, especially the last one, the very last Harry Potter book, it was 700 pages long. I'm like, why is it that long? There's no reason why it should be that long. And it wasn't even that good. Like, I would understand it if the plot was good, if it was interesting and engaging, but it just was not good at all. Like, the last Harry Potter book was so boring. I honestly don't even remember what specifically happens. I read it once or twice and never picked it up again. I literally wanted to stop reading the book halfway through because I was bored out of my mind. I was falling asleep while I was reading this, and no hate, J.K. Rowling. I loved the first few books in the Harry Potter series. I just didn't like the last one. It was just kind of boring. But no, yeah, J.K. Rowling is a great author. I just think that the last book of Harry Potter wasn't her best work. But yeah. And honestly, like, why is a book 700 pages long? Why is it that long? Because no one's gonna want to read that. It took me like, I actually don't really remember how long it took me to read the last Harry Potter book, but I think it took about like, like 4 hours, 3 hours, something like that. I really don't know, but yeah, like it's so long that they had to make two separate movies for the one book. So I think it's completely unnecessary. It's just so excessive. Like, you don't need that many pages. Like, are you getting paid based on like the amount of pages you write or something? Like, what is up with that? But yeah, I think all books should be under 400 pages. I feel like 400 is a nice number. It's not like too long, but it's not too short because like 100-page books are like too short. Like, that's way too short. So I feel like a good range is like 200 to 400. But yeah. Anyway, my next hot take is, it might be a little controversial. This is definitely kind of an unpopular opinion. Definitely a big hot take because a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one. But that's okay. I just think that Colleen Hoover is a really bad author. She's not good at all. Honestly, she can't write. I'm just gonna be really blunt and like brutally honest, but yeah, she cannot write at all. I really have no idea how she became an author. Like, how did she make it this far? How has she written so many books? And they're all bad. They're all so bad. I read three of her books. I read It Ends With Us, November 9, and It Starts With Us. Honestly, all of them are literally the same. It's the same exact plot for like every single one. It's so stupid. And it's just like, first of all, she romanticized abuse in It Ends With Us. Like, why are you doing that? Like, why are you saying like that abuse is okay or something? Like, like why would you write about a serious topic like that? Are you kind of like, why are you doing that? Because that's kind of offensive to real abuse victims, and it's just kind of insensitive to write a book like that. Um, and honestly, it's like I would never write a book about that because books are kind of meant for entertainment. They're meant for fun. So it's just like it feels kind of wrong to write a book about like a heavy, serious topic like that. Um, and if you do want to write a book about it, then she could have done it better. You know, if she wanted to write a book about abuse to kind of raise more awareness about it, to kind of talk about how horrible it is, then like, yeah, she could have written a book about abuse, but she could have done it a lot better. She could have executed it better than she did. And yeah, It Ends With Us is just horrible. It's just a really bad book. November 9 was also pretty bad. November 9 was disgusting and gross. It's just all of her books have too much spice. They're all gross. I'm just like, ew. Like, ew. What? Like, who in their right mind would think to write that? You know what I mean? Like, some lines in the book was just so intense. So, they were so, like, graphic and not good. So, yeah, like I just don't like Colleen Hoover's writing style. I don't like how she writes her books. Yeah, everything about all of her books is just no. Like I literally do not like any of them. Also, It Starts With Us was pretty bad too. Yeah, like all three of the books that I've read of hers were pretty bad. So, yeah, I do not recommend Colleen Hoover books to anyone. Really. Like after I read her books, I literally want to throw them out and kind of like burn the books. So I do not recommend reading her books. I genuinely wanted to rip my eyes out and just unread everything because it was so disgusting and so gross. So yeah, unless you like spicy books, then yeah, I guess. But no, because Colleen Hoover books are like really spicy. Like they are not appropriate for teenagers, but it's being marketed for like teenagers. It's being like um you know what I mean? Like her books are kind of like targeting teenage girls, kind of like teenage girls and slash young adult women. That's kind of the target audience, and the book is not appropriate for high schoolers or middle schoolers at all. But I read It Ends With Us when I was in eighth grade because my friends read it and everyone was talking about it. It was all over TikTok, social media. It was so popular. And they were literally marketing it to teenage girls. Like, that is not okay for teenagers to read. Okay, so my next hot take is that book talk books are bad. Book talk books kind of suck. I know this is a very controversial opinion. But I have read a few book talk books, and most of the ones that I've read are pretty bad, in my opinion. I've read, what's it called? The Summer of Broken Rules by Cale Walter. I've read the Colleen Hoover books, It Ends With Us, and I've read The Family of Liars by E. Lockhart, which is based on We Were Liars, which is like super popular. And then One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. But literally all the books that I've read on Book Talk I did not like. I don't like how Book Talk only emphasizes romance books and it only makes romance books super popular. You know what I mean? Because like all the other genres like historical fiction, dystopian, science fiction, and like other young adult books that like fantasy and like all that, like none of those books are marketed as much as romance books are. Romance books are so popular on Book Talk, and I don't really know why, because I don't really like romance books. But yeah, I don't really know why Book Talk only makes a certain type of book popular, because like literally only romance books are super popular on Book Talk. So I don't know why it's like all the romance books are always trending. It's always some new romance book, like some are broken rules, and then it ends with this, and then uh the the boy kisses book, whatever it was called. Um, it's what's the Carly Fortune romance books, like the summer, golden summer, every summer after. Like Emily Henry, I think, is also another book talk author. Like all the romance books, it's just like guys, like you guys like chill out, you know what I mean? Like why are there like hundreds of romance books that are so popular on Book Talk? Like I really don't know why, but most of the Book Talk books I've read are super superficial and they have no meaning at all, like no meaningful themes, no actually like emotional like anything. No, it's just not deep at all. It's all so shallow. Like the plot is super shallow. And all the book talk books I've read are really predictable. There are no plot twists, no anything. It's always just like, oh, it's the same exact thing. So it's just like, it's so stupid, but yeah. And then my last hot take is that romance books are bad. Yeah. Surprise, I don't really like romance books. I'm not a big fan of them. Especially the romance books with spice. I feel like I like romance books that aren't spicy, you know what I mean? Um, yeah, like romance books that are clean, PG, no spice at all. Like those are the ones that I like, just like the like, um, cute little romance books like that, you know? Um, but yeah, I do not like spicy romance books at all. I think they're really gross and just like disgusting. Cause like, why do you need to do all that? You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be doing all that. You're just doing too much, you know? And like, literally in the spicy romance books, the whole plot is just the main character is kissing. Like, that's all they do. That's all they do. Is just kiss and make out for the whole book. Like that, like come on guys, like come on now. You could have a better plot than that. Like at least be creative, at least be original. But no, romance books have no creativity, no originality. Every single love interest and character seems exactly the same. Like every plot for every romance book feels the exact same. It's so predictable. And they're literally just carbon copies of each other. They're the exact same thing. I'm like, you couldn't even have something creative. You couldn't even experiment with the plot. You couldn't even change anything about the plot. You couldn't add like a cool plot twist. You couldn't even add any layers or depth to the characters. You just had to make them so shallow, so superficial, so annoying. You had to make all the characters so unlikable. And then every plot is the exact same. Like I could read the first chapter of a romance book and then predict the whole rest of the book because it always starts out with like the exposition, the characters, the two love interests, they meet each other for the first time and then they slowly start falling in love. There's some kind of romance trope going on. It's either friends to lovers, enemies to lovers, forbidden romance, love triangle, something like that. There's always something like that going on, and then the two characters they fall in love and then they start dating, right? But then there's a lot of conflict. It's like conflict, and then something happens, like oh no, someone cheats on someone else, or oh no, like they break up because of some stupid reason. They break up after one fight. So yeah, they break up and then 2 minutes later they get back together. So like wow, the breakup lasted so long. It lasted all of 10 seconds and then they get back together at the end and then everyone lives happily ever after, you know? And I'm just like, with all these romance books, I'm like, you couldn't end the book with the characters just being single. Like, it's never that. Because the characters always have to end up together. They always have to get back together. I'm like, you, like, Like, is it so hard to leave the character single? Like, it's so insane. And all the characters, they made the relationship their whole life. Like, once they start dating, that's their whole personality and that's their whole life, and they have no life outside of the relationship. So it's just so annoying and so weird and so frustrating. Those types of books are the most boring and not engaging. They're so just bland. They're so boring. They have no substance at all. They have no flavor at all. All those books are just so boring. I'm not saying that I hate all romance books because I feel like, to be fair, I do like some romance books. I liked 5 Feet Apart. Um and yeah, like that book was pretty good, but I'm just saying that most romance books that I've read from my experience are pretty bad in my opinion. So, yeah, like I would say probably like 95% of romance books are not that good from my personal experience. But yeah, so I mean, to be fair, like not all romance books are bad. It's just some books, like the books that literally um are mostly about lust, and the books that just focus too much on like the physical aspect of romance instead of like the emotional part of it. You know what I mean? The books that just emphasize like the lust instead of the deep love between them. But yeah, those books are the types of books that I don't like. So yeah. Okay, that is the end of today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. And make sure to subscribe and like and comment below if you like this episode. I would really appreciate it if you guys could go follow my Instagram, and also I just made a new TikTok, so go follow the TikTok as well. It's at the.booknote podcast. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Remember to tune in next week for my next episode. See you guys there. This is Olivia M signing off.